You wanna argue. You wanna argue. I can't argue with you. You mad. I can't argue with you. No. Look at you. Look at you. You mad. Look at you. You big mad. I'm happy. Leave me alone. I'm happy. Sweat. Leave me alone.
I will pray for you, but if you get on my nerve, I will cuss you smooth out. My mouth ain't under control yet, and I can throw these hands. And let me tell you something, if I get my hands on you, I promise you, you gonna know you've been in a fight. But I'm trying not to go there because I'm in transition.
Listen, try not to go there, but I am in transition and I have transformed. I have transformed, so pull up. Pull up. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. But with that being said, happy Friday, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Palace, for pulling up consistently. Thank you for your wave of support. Thank you for understanding the assignment as it relates to content creation. Thank you for pulling up to support content. Good content. We work hard over here in the Palace. We try to make sure that we leave no stone unturned when it comes to content creation. Not only that, we love to give you a good show. We're going to do entertainment. We're going to do all of that. But when it's time to roll it out and get serious, even if I'm not the resource, I'm going to make sure that I point the people in the right direction. And we are here for it today. Listen, the question of the day is, Carlos King, did he retaliate? We got a lot of stuff to talk about. And I'm not going to even apologize in advance. Let me prepare you in advance. I'm not quite sure where this conversation is going to go because I'm on the fence. I'm 50-50 about what I want to do and my strategy. And come what may, Father God, if you don't want me to do that, then you make it loud and clear. You make it loud and clear. Because what will not happen. And thank you to all of the other content creators for your support as content creators. Let me make it very clear. I've always said from day one, you can utilize my clips. I don't strike content creators. I have not struck content creators. The only way I'll strike you is if you strike me. That's it. That's it. Other than that, I don't play those kind of games. I feel like it's enough room for all of us. I'll throw it out there. You take what you can. Maybe I missed something. Maybe you can swing it a different way. I'm the type, we all can eat. We all can eat. I have not one jealous bone in my body. When it comes to anybody else, go, little birdie, spread your wings and fly. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Hell, if anything, I can watch you and learn. And if there's something I teach YouTube classes. I have one-on-ones. Listen, I'm here. I'm here for it because I understand the assignment at the end of the day. The job is to get here and create excellent content for the viewers. And I think a lot of people have lost sight of that. Carlos King, I'll start with you. I think a lot of you have lost sight of that, the goal and the assignment. I see everything. I hear everything. I'm very well aware of let me make myself clear, where every player is located on the chessboard. I may not say anything. I pick up exactly what you're putting down, even the ones that show love and hide their hands. Honey, I'm aware of everything because God shows me that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to position myself as being this perfect individual. But if you got something to say, you know how to reach me. You know how to reach me. You know how to knock on my door. You get what I'm saying? Carlos knows how to reach me if he has a problem with me and anybody else. I'm a woman of a mature age. I can always sit down and hear you out, even if I don't agree with you, and vice versa. There's always more than one way to skin a cat. But I warned y'all a while back. I said there's an emerging group of gatekeepers. I told you. And when I say it, you better believe it because I can back it up. But I'm going to sit on it for a minute. I told you there's an emerging group of gatekeepers. I said, YouTubers, be careful. And that's not fear-based. We don't do fear-based commentary over here. We do to educate and inform. I inform you to educate you, and you can take it and you can do with it what you need to do. You take what you need, you discard the rest. Why is it important? It's important because you need to know how to position yourself as a content creator. You need to know what potholes you need to avoid. You get what I'm saying? You need to know. See, one thing I don't do, listen, I truly believe there's enough room for everybody. I ain't got to step on nobody. I ain't got to call you out your name to get what I need. I ain't got to snake you. I ain't got to send audios, messages, texts about you. I ain't got to do none of that shit because what's for me is me. And I'm going to get what's for me. Because unless you God, you can't stop it anyway. Unless your name is Jesus Christ, Abba Father, El Shahim, El Shaddai, Jehovah Jireh. Unless that's your name, you can't stop it anyway. So I'm going to do what I've been purposed and called to do. And I really encourage you to do what you've been called to do, Carlos King, and anybody else that's working in the background. Anybody else. That's crazy to me that you will see another YouTuber, because you are a YouTuber, Carlos. Let me remind you, you are now, in fact, a YouTuber. It's crazy to me that you will see another fellow YouTuber as a threat to you. I told you all, just as to inform you, to educate, the gatekeepers are coming. How the hell you think it's okay for you to interview everybody else's cast from different networks and I can't get out here and get my bag? Nigga, you done lost your damn mind. You done lost your damn mind. Now call me a lie and watch me pull up the receipts. You been doing that. You know when people do that, when they deem you unworthy, but you came over here to play with us. You came over here to play with us. Let me tell you something. You retaliated. Let me ask y'all this. I don't even know why I'm asking. Do y'all feel like Carlos King? We're not talking about the text he sent. We're going to get into all of that. We're going to talk about that one thing at a time. The best way, the best strategy to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. We're going to work on bites, one bite at a time. My question to you as viewers and subscribers, do you feel like Carlos King retaliated? It don't matter for what. The answer is yes or no. Did he retaliate? Yes or no? Yeah. I see Q Catrice. She said, hell yeah. She said, absolutely, he retaliated. Empress Nick says yes. Erica Marie says yes. Fee says yes. Joyce says yes. Tennessee said he fired Sonny. So he fired Sonny for interviewing with you. I don't know that to be a fact. I don't know that to be a fact. So I can't affirm that, but I do know he bothered her. I do know she came up here to confirm that. You know what I'm saying? And she did it in a very diplomatic way. And I understand why, because she's a producer. She has shit to do. She has projects to work on. She's going onward and upward. So you know what I'm saying? And I can respect that. But she did confirm for you all that he did have an issue with her interviewing with me. Now, here's the thing. Let me tell you the way this shit works. I don't have a problem with him trying to work behind my back. Because the same thing that you do to me shall be returned unto you. And that's what y'all don't understand. Y'all, there's no cheat code to life. The same shit that you're conspiring up against others, your walls of Jericho will become tumbling down. The same venom. Do y'all not understand how that works? So I'm going to just sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. It may not be today that you get it. It may not be tomorrow, but the same that you do to somebody else will be done to you. Now, Carlos, here's the problem. That's how you make your money. You make your, I'm going to say about 85%. Actually, I'm going to push it. I'm going to say about 95.5%. Now we're going to get into the data and analytics of it all. 95.5% of your primary income, if I have to guess, as an informatics person, as a product person, I would say about 95% of your primary income comes from sitting other people down from other networks and having the honor and pleasure of speaking with them one-on-one. That's not how I make my money, but that's how you make your money. And the reason why that's important for me to lay out is because be careful. Because you could be tearing down your own opportunity by trying to come up against me. That's all I'm saying. Because see, if I never did another interview today, it's okay. Because I didn't start off doing interviews. If you've been with me since day one, I can run the play, pre-recorded, never showing my face, never coming on camera. And that was a intentional strategy. And I'm not going to tell you why. And I teach that in my YouTube. I did that for a reason. And I can always return to that from which I've come. I am multifaceted. I don't need an interview. I just have the honor and the blessing and the pleasure of being able to get them every now and then. Did you retaliate against Marquez? Yes, you did. Was it because of the text messages? I'm going to tell you something, Trish and Ken. Have a seat if you just so happen to find your way over here. And for those of you that are saying, hey, I want you to read, I saw something where you wanted me to read or come after content creators. I ain't coming after nobody unless they come after me. And if they have come after me, and if they have said some of the most horrible things, let me tell you how things work. Let them go. Let them go. Let them go. Let them go. You know how people say you create a monster? Let them. Open that can of worms. Let them go and go and go and go and go. And then when it's time, it's time. Do you get what I'm saying? I purposely said I know where every chess piece is on the puzzle, but it's not worth my time because I'm winning. I'm working. Every time I get up and pick up this mic or do what I need to do from a corporate scene, I'm winning. I ain't losing. My chessboard is my own. I'm my own competition. Every day I get up and challenge myself to be better than I was yesterday. That's it. Girl, what'd you do yesterday? Okay, you missed the mark with this one because that ain't really picking up a lot of traction. Shit, let me go back to the drawing board. I picks up the phone and consult. What you think about this? I got people helping me. So I'm winning. That does not, when you winning, you don't come down for nobody. You let them catch up if they can. And most of them have had a reasonable amount of time to catch up and they ain't, and they haven't, period. And if the shoe fit where, you throw a rock in the crowd, somebody gonna holler. Somebody gonna holler. The difference between the good ones is we have the resources to back up and get anything done that we need to get done. So y'all don't be asking content creators to fire back, to say this. Yeah, there's no reason to. The proof is in the pudding, the work, the outcome, the strategy, the engagement. That's it. That's all. But let me say this, Trisha, I really want you, not telling you what to do, but just speaking to you. Because listen, let me tell you something. All y'all are toxic. You're toxic. Ken is toxic. Marquez is toxic. No, yeah, I said that right. Marquez is toxic. All three of you. And I can say that with my chest because I've seen the communications back and forth. The problem is Marquez played himself. He walked right into it. Doesn't justify what he said. Doesn't justify what he said. But if we're going to get into the thick of it, of the toxicity of it all, Kim pulled a gun. Marquez sent a crazy ass text. Kim pulled a weapon. Everybody should be gone. Everybody should be gone. We'll stop there. Everybody should be gone. But Ken and Trish are willing to play the game so they get to stay. I don't care whether they stay or go. I'm just saying, if you look at it, shit, y'all say, oh no, we're going to protect them, protect everybody. at the end of the day, because if somebody pull a gun on me, allegedly, nah, nobody should be here. Nobody should. It's toxic. Do y'all want to see any of that? Now, Trish, I want to come back to you as a woman. If you think that network let him go because they care about your safety, you crazy. You are crazy. If they gave you a gentle hug and maybe sent a piece of security over to your house under the guise of caring about you, you are crazy to believe that. Let me tell you this, and I'm going to say it with my chest. From one Black woman to the other, you are something to use. You and your family are something to use. And when they get done with you, they're going to chew you up and spit you out. I don't know how much money you make, but I'm going to say it's not more than $1,000 per episode if I had to guess. If I believe. I don't think you're making more than $1,000 per episode. If you think that the likes of a Carlos King gives a fuck about your well-being, you drinking the Kool-Aid, you get high off of your own supply. Ken, if you think you're about to spread your wings and soar because you are on a show called Love and Marriage Huntsville, you are crazy. Name me one cast member outside of Melody Cherie and Stormy Still that have been able to take the ball, run the play, and score a touchdown. None. Not a one. Not a one. So the placebo effect, I think that you're getting is the fact of being on a television screen. But let me tell you something. It's doing a number on your children. It's doing a number on your children. Y'all been toxic before they put you on the screen. Y'all have been toxic before you appeared in the privacy of our homes on the television screen. The fact, Ken, that you were dating a married woman and living with her and was sneaking in and out of that house for a few months before her children knew is toxic in and of itself, allegedly. I ain't on nobody's side. I need everybody to wake up. So you can't start in the middle of something and go, he's wrong. They all wrong, y'all. It's all nasty work. It's all nasty work. How could you take a side on either side? You don't. You say, oh, this shit is crazy. It's been crazy. The fact that Ken can't no right come from doing wrong. The lady is married. I don't give a damn if they are getting a divorce. You came in while she was married. Don't matter why she's married or where he at, she's married. And if you was really about that life, Ken, if you was really about that life and the man that you say that you are, you would have asked her to clean that shit up before you even thought about moving your furniture or your clothes in that house. You working in reverse order. You aging backwards. And I don't give a damn if they get a divorce or not. And she and Ken get married. It's not going to be a good union. It's too toxic. It's toxic. It's done. Ask any healthily married couple, baby, when you start off on rocky ground like that, ain't nowhere to go but down. Shit, where's the honeymoon period? It ain't one. It won't be one. It's bad for y'all. It's bad for y'all. You're not saving the day, Ken, because if you was going to save the day, you would have saved it by saving yourself first and said, nah, I can't even get into that type of thing. Nah, you know what? Let me get up out of your DMs. You said you didn't know the lady was married, which substantiated for the fact that we know she's a liar. You said it wasn't until you started to peruse her Instagram account. And you know how you go all the way down to the bottom, y'all? Fact check me. He said it. He said it on Carlos King. He said, I didn't even know she was married. So now we can validate and confirm by your own admission that Trisha is a liar. Okay? But I think all of y'all are liars. I think all of you are very good at misrepresenting the facts and the truth. That's neither here nor there. Let me finish. The fact is, you confirmed from the viewing audience when you did your interview with Carlos and Dr. Heavenly that Trish did not make you aware up front that she was indeed a married woman. She was communicating with you under the guise of being a single woman. It wasn't until then you perused her Instagram account. You know how you go all the way to the bottom, y'all. He had to go he had to go back. Then he saw pictures of Marquez. And he was like, oh shit, who is this guy? And then and only then, when confronted, she said, I'm married. It's complicated. It's giving this and it's giving that. That's when you should have backed. If you was that guy, Ken, and I'm going to say this, That's when you should have left it alone. Don't tell me how good of a man you are and you proceed into a fucked up situation where a woman is married. And not only did she honor you by telling you that up front, you have to find the shit out. So everything that you get from this situation, you created because you walked into it. That's the first thing. The second thing, y'all, you can't believe Ken and not believe Marquez in some instances. In some instances, when Marquez said, hey, listen, I also didn't know that Ken was living in the house and neither did the children for a number of months. That's snake shit. So just like she snaked you, Ken, by not telling you she was married, she also snaked him. Now, the point is, it ain't my damn business because y'all can do what you want to do. My only concern are those beautiful children, which is why I brought in a psychotherapist, Carlos King, to really get into the thick of it, because it does impact a child's reality. Now, if you was really about that life, Ken, and I'm talking to the men, and I'm talking to you, Carlos, if you was really about that life, then take the kids off the show. There's been a fight. There's been a gun involved, allegedly. What the fuck are you doing? Instead of worried about me, you focus on your own yard. You focus on cleaning up your shit and keeping your grass mowed, because mine is mowed over here. Let me tell you why I say that. As soon as I realized this conversation was bigger than me, I brought in a psychotherapist. I didn't try to tackle that shit on my own to prove a point. Oh, wait a minute. We need help. We need help. And I called in for reinforcements, unlike you. So maybe if you can, actually, if you choose to watch me, take note. Take note of how I do it. I don't even know why you worried about little old me anyway. I don't even know why you worried about me and trying to block me in the background. You're not hurting me, you hurting yourself. Because I'm going to run the play with or without you. And I hope you do the same. Now, if you were really worried, if you really start to focus on your productions as opposed to Queen Sheba productions, imagine that. Because I may be a small blogger today. You don't know where I'm going to end up tomorrow. That's why I don't fuck with people. That's why I don't start shit with people, because I'm smart enough and I'm wise enough and I've lived long enough to know shit. They may be at 24,000 today. They may be at 2,000 tomorrow. Shit, tomorrow I could be in a position where I'm knocking on their door for a job. So I shut my mouth. I shut my mouth when it comes to other people, because I do know tables turn. I know Joy Reid started off as a blogger and worked her way up to MSNBC, making over $30 million a year. That's why I don't fuck with people unless you fuck with me. That's why no, I ain't going to say nothing today. Let me see where they had it. You know what? I can be quiet today just in case. So yes, I am a small blogger today, but you don't know where I'm headed. And while you watching Queen Sheba Productions, you should be busy producing your own work. That's undeniable. That's undeniable. So Trish, he don't care about you. And I said what the hell I said. Girl, you are something to use. Do you think that he will give you more prestige and honor in your suffering than he did his main cast? Girl, sit back, sit down. Look at all of the other beautiful, stellar, accomplished, more achieved Black women that have been on his shows that he tried to mess up, that he fucked with their families. I'm just saying, excuse my language, but you can't messing with me, Carlos. So it is what it is. And I can do it hourly. That's the difference. I hate to. I ain't trying to knock what you got going, but you damn sure. You interview everybody from every other network. You barely mess with your own people because you don't have the pizzazz and the wherewithal to give a good interview if somebody ain't bigging you up. That's what I've noticed about you. And if you would like to work with me one-on-one, I'm very affordable. I can give you some pointers. You don't work with nobody that has anything to say outside of agreeing with you, period. I've noticed that about your interviews. If they ain't, yes, girl, yes, yes, you not sitting down in front of them. That's why you don't fuck with your own cast members. And if so, they know they gotta dance. 1, 2, 3, go dance. Yes, they got to tell you how great you are, Los, how much you've done for them. If it had not been for Carlos on my side, tell me, where would I be? Anything other than that, you ain't fucking with him. You trying to find a reason to get him off the show? Child, that ain't, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Did you retaliate? Absolutely. Yes, you did. Yes, you did retaliate, but it's not for the reason that y'all believe it is. He don't give a damn about the women on the show. He don't give a damn. Look what he did to So Gucci. Wouldn't even let her talk. Made the interview private. What the fuck? Put it out there. If you are indeed a good interviewer, who cares? Sometimes you win, but you don't win all the time. It makes you better. It stretches you. It builds character. It gives a little bit of insight where you can go back and you can say, okay, you can debrief with yourself and your team. Damn, what can I do better? Leave it out there. But you're not built like that. You're not built like that. You got to take the good with the bad. You got to take it where people are applauding you and eating you the fuck up in your comments. Leave it. But nah, Marquez ain't gone, in my opinion, because of what he did to Trish. What makes you, come on. All of a sudden he cares for Black women? Y'all crazy as hell if you believe that. He's gone because he sat down and interviewed with me, and I was able to take something from good to great. I was able to get in and do what you were supposed to do, and I produced the fucking truth. I took an imperfect man, and I put him in front of the world, and I said, tell your story. I didn't have a pre-agenda for him like you did. You've had over a year to tell his story. So now you fire him all of a sudden because he told his story to Queen Sheba. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. Queen Sheba scored a touchdown on your ass. It don't matter if people like him. It's not about y'all liking him. It's not about who we believe, who we don't believe. It's about being able to get in and take somebody and put them in a position to speak and make it make sense. What you did is you put that man on a television screen and you chopped him up and you screwed him over. And you basically gave him, by way of your production, a mental health diagnosis under the table. And we don't know if he has that or not, but that's how you cut it. And that's how you release it. And you got mad that a little bitty YouTuber came right behind your ass and say, I'll take the trash. I think I can piece it together. I think I can probably pull something out that they didn't find valuable. And you mad because I did it again and again and again. I did it with Martell. I did it with Winter. I did it with Marquez 3 times. I did it. You can't stop that. That's what God has allowed me to do, to see the beauty in things that people don't deem worthy, to see the beauty. So when people say, oh, you have a soft spot for Marquez, nah, I'm fair. I know how to sit somebody down in front of me and talk to them without any hate, rage in my heart, and do what I'm supposed to do. Y'all wanted to, I don't know what y'all, this is my belief. You didn't give a fuck about his story. You didn't care because you had already created the narrative for him. You created the narrative for him. You've always been rude to him. You had him first. You could have did exactly what I did. You could have did exactly what you do for other people that you deem worthy, that you put in chairs in front of you. You deem they're worthy of being flown out, or you fly to them. You could have done the same thing, but you didn't. You didn't have the creative power to do so. You don't have the creativity to be able to pivot in a moment. And I said what I said, since you want to try to block me. I said what I said. As an executive producer, why are your shows still on the same storyline 4, 5, 6 years later? I'll wait. I told y'all, gatekeepers. So now you mad because somebody else came in and picked up something and said, you know what, let me look at this from a different angle. Because it's not making sense on screen to the viewers. Maybe we can kind of peel back the layers and really see what this shit is. And what it is toxic from all sides. But I'm fair enough to say, okay, tell your story. I'm fair enough to try to ask the right questions And it's up to you as the audience to determine. And let me tell you why I think you really mad. Because after seeing what we did over here, Queen Sheba Productions, you were mad because people started getting on your ass from a production standpoint. If they would have been like, yeah, take them down now. If that would have been the consensus, consensus of the public opinion, you wouldn't have had a problem. You would have been like, go back to Queen Sheba. Go back. Yeah, you don't think I know that while Martell was getting ready to interview with me, y'all were on the phone telling him not to? You don't, and that was years ago. So you've been fucking with me for years, and I just never say nothing, y'all. I let people sit, I let them fire off, and then when I'm ready, I'm ready. Yeah, you don't think I knew that? I didn't say nothing. I did what I was supposed to do, and that's work. I keep my head down and I work. The best revenge is success. So you retaliated against him, and let's really get into the thick of it. Let's really get into the thick of it. Let me bring up, give me 1 second, this text that he sent, and I'm going to make it make sense to y'all. Now, Marquez posted a text yesterday, and the text was aimed at addressing Carlos King. I wish he hadn't done that, but I'm not his mama. You know what I mean? Unless somebody hired me to consult with them about strategy, then I mind my Black-owned business. You get what I'm saying? I mind my Black-owned business because the way my brain is set up is too powerful to give it away for free. That's it. Now, I will say this. I want to run through this text and tell you what it means and walk you through it. Now, here's another thing. I want to be fair in my argument. Reality television, at this point, y'all, I don't care who you are. If you go on, you understand that you may not get a favorable edit in reality television. We're far enough along in 2025. We're far enough along in the world. We've seen how things work out. If they don't like you, if you do not bark like a dog and roll over, you will not come out as a favorable edit. So it is what it is. We don't want to hear no more complaints. It is what it is. That's just the risk that you take. The problem is, I think a lot of people cry about it with you, Carlos, because you don't pay them shit. If you paid them enough, I guarantee you they would stop complaining because everybody else ain't complaining. They just suck it up. They do it. They cry. They come back the next day because they're being paid well. That's why I asked y'all the other day, what's your number? What's your number? What would you be willing to do for a little bit of camera time? Hell, some of y'all doing it for free on YouTube. Some of y'all doing it for free on YouTube. You ain't even, listen, let me go. All right, let me know if you can see this. Can y'all see this? Here we go. This was released by Marquez yesterday, and it says, at Carlos King, thank you for never checking on me, calling to hear my side of the story, or even doing your research on who you casted. That's the first thing. I want to break this down. When he said, thank you for never checking on me, what he was referring to is after you put him in a position that was not safe and he was physically harmed on camera. Now, Marquez, I'm going to tell you this. I wasn't going to say it. But since Carlos wants to play with me, if I were you, since Carlos want to play with me, if I were you, and if they release that, I will sue the pants off of them. I will sue the pants off of them for putting me in a situation to be physically attacked. And it's, y'all go back. Listen, I need y'all's help. Let me tell you how we're going to do this since you want to play with me, Carlos. Y'all, I want you to go back to, I think it was an interview that Marquez did. Either an interview, it was an interview. It wasn't with me. He said he had already let production know that Ken had pulled a gun on him allegedly. Y'all go clip that before they try to scrub it from the internet. Go clip that and keep that in your arsenal. I don't need it. I'm just telling you. Clip that. He told you, just like So Gucci told you there was a protection order in place. That's why I told you, you can't beat me. You work in a reverse order. I'm 3 steps ahead of you. Clip that because he warned you that there had already been a previous volatile situation where his life was at stake and a weapon was pulled on him. You didn't care. You asked him to come back. And not only did you ask him to come back, you asked him to come to Ken in Trisha's house under the guise of filming. So he showed up and thought he was about to film, and y'all retaliated against him, I believe. And he was physically beat. Now clock that T. Yes, girl. Clock that T. Now, Marquez, should they air that out? I will sue. I would sue their pants off. I don't give a damn. I said what I said. I don't work for Carlos. I can say what the hell I want to say. I would sue their asses. Now, you may not get everything, but you'll get a nice little nest egg to be able to create a life for yourself and financially contribute. Now, they fought. His lip was busted. His lip was busted on my first interview. Y'all didn't see it. I saw they fought. His lip was busted. He got attacked. I don't care whether you like him or not. The point is, in reality television, Carlos King and Oprah Winfrey Network have the resources to ensure that nobody gets to you like that. You see, they broke up Martell. You see, they subdued Miss Wanda. Yeah, I'm telling you, in person, I saw it. He was physically beat. Now, here's my problem with you, Ken. You big. He's small. If you didn't like him running his mouth, you could have simply held him. You big enough. You a big guy. You ain't even got to do all that. You could have just put your 2 fingers against his chest and held him in place. He does not match you physically. And you invite him to your home, and then you ambushed him and you swung on him. If I was you, Marquez, I would sit back and dare own Oprah Winfrey Network to release that shit. Number one. Number two, they know they did not protect you. Let me tell y'all, since we talking, Carlos, you should have left me alone. They know they did not protect you. They know they dropped a ball. And I'm going to be honest with you, Marquez, you're not as savvy as some of the others. You're not as savvy. So you went back to film. I would not have gone back to film. So what they did is they pretended to want to work with you, and they caught your ass up on a technicality of interviewing with Queen Sheba. But what they did, you crashed out. And that's fine. You crashed out. So they use that crash out as an excuse to release you from the show. But I'm telling you, Trish, it ain't got nothing to do with you. It ain't got nothing to do with you. The house always wins. They're protecting themselves for allowing him to be attacked behind the scenes, and they didn't do shit. And listen, we're going to get into it. Because help was asked before y'all let that man swing on him. He did say, if y'all don't want this to escalate, I need y'all to break this up. Okay, why are y'all filming this? This finna get out. Did he not ask y'all to intervene? And you didn't, production. You let Ken have you allowed Ken to have his way with Marquez, allegedly. He kept saying, this is about to go bad, y'all. Don't mess with me, Carlos. And you didn't intervene. You let him get attacked on camera. And then after a while, you intervened. And it was so bad, he didn't know who was hitting him. He got up swinging and may have accidentally hit his son. His children were in a house upstairs. What the fuck kind of production is that does that when kids are upstairs, when a little 10-year-old girl is upstairs, huh? Who does that? Who sets families up for that? So you fired him because you know you dropped the ball. And then you're going to try to drag my name into it. You fired him because you know you dropped the ball. So when he says, Carlos King, thanks for never checking on me, you didn't even have the decency as a human being, forget being a producer, but the decency as a human being, as a network, as a production team to say, are you okay? You let him go home like that. You let him go home with a busted lip. I ain't for that. I don't care whether I like somebody or not, y'all. I ain't for nobody being ambushed physically. Even if they wanted to fight, they can't because you 3, 4, 5 times bigger than them. Now, you didn't do anything. You didn't intervene in time when he was asking. And number 2, you didn't have the decency as a human being to even call or text or say, are you okay? You didn't have a therapist call him. You didn't do none of that shit. And let me say, I ain't on nobody's side because it's all toxic. It's all toxic. But the point is, I'm pointing it out of why I feel like he was retaliated against. Why I believe he was retaliated against. You didn't even have the decency. to say, we have a therapist. Would you like to talk to somebody? You don't have to be a network to do that. You don't have to be a Christian to do that. Production, you could have snuck and done that. Anybody could have picked up the phone, but you didn't. And then you fired him because you know you fucked up, right? But he's not, in my opinion, Marquez, no tea, no shade to you. I don't feel like you're sharp enough to know that they dropped the ball. And I think they have constantly utilized you, and they've somehow made this your fault, which is why, Doc, see, we know more when y'all, y'all don't know what we be knowing. That's why she was talking about being a victim and not knowing. Ain't nobody justifying his text messages. But the point is, it's toxic. It's very, 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 very toxic from all around. And if you're going to talk about the toxicity of it all, it started when a weapon was pulled on him. That was the first time it started. The second time it started, to me, I believe, is when he notified production of his hesitancy. He was hesitant to even work with Ken and Trish because fear of his safety, and you did it anyway. At that point, maybe Ken should have been released, because who gets to pull a weapon and get paid? So it did spiral out of control, but it didn't start where y'all are trying to put a needle and a pin in it. I think it's bad all around. And I'm woman enough and mature enough to say, oh, hell no, all y'all messed up to me. Damn, all of y'all don't give a damn. We got 3 adults doing what the hell they want to do, and ain't nobody thinking to put the children first, as if kids won't have problems from this, as if kids won't feel the impact of it. I don't give a damn how much money you spending. I don't give a damn what you think you're sacrificing. I don't give a damn who's paying the bills. What about your children? Is working, is receiving, however much you receive, worth it to be able to do all this in front of your kids? You got a little girl in that house that's watching this. That's not okay to me. Children are very sensitive. They take up stuff like sponges. But the point is, Marquez was referring to after he was attacked on set. You guys left him out, just like you did So Gucci. You didn't check on her when she found out y'all were sneaking around, put her in danger. And I'm not saying that Selena would or would not have done anything, because I like Selena. But the fact of the matter is, there was a legal binding contract that they were to have a no contact order, and they showed it to you, Carlos, and you took it upon yourself to violate it, according to So Gucci. And then you tried to manipulate her in front of your audience and say, you knew, you were made aware. And she says, no, I wasn't. You never came straight to me as a production to tell me, listen, we know you got a no contact order in place, but we don't give a damn. You try to make a fool of her and make her look like a liar. So I'm just telling y'all that the strategies and the tactics that you're seeing in this situation is the same that have been used for years. My mama used to say, pick on somebody your own size. See, why would you take somebody? Because the whole point is, you brought Trish on the show. Not to talk about Marquez. You ain't even know nothing about that. You brought Trish on the show, we keep it real, because she allegedly slept with Martell Holt. That's the tea you wanted. But then when you found out there was some more funky mess going on, you thought, let me see if I can get in an angle from there. And you took him, and you recognized that he may not have been as manipulative, as strong as the others. And you decided to victimize that man. You should have never brought that man on the show if you weren't going to give him a fair opportunity. You don't kick people when they down. You knew what you was doing. Y'all never had, I believe, any intention of highlighting him in a perfect manner. He ain't told me shit about his life that I didn't see on that TV. So what part are you saying that he shared with us as viewers that you didn't get to capture with your cameras? Child, please. Like Ocho Cinco said, child, tell it to the judge. They ain't have no good agenda for you. Them people was not worried about you like that at all. Now, let me finish reading this message. Now, that's why he was saying you didn't check on me, because you let that man get attacked. The second thing is, and then when you let him go, you didn't check on him. Did you? As a matter of fact, do you check on any of your cast? And I'm asking that because after we sat there and listened to a psychotherapist to talk about the harmful impact that reality does to the psyche of an individual and how they have to relive it over and over, do you ever check on your cast? Even if you can't, from a legal standpoint, is somebody authorized to send a, hey, if you need us, here's where you can pull, this is what you can tap into, here are the resources. And then he says, even doing research on who you casted. I don't know if y'all knew what that was about, but I do. Give me 1 second and I'll share. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right. So on that point, when he says, or even doing your research on who you've casted, a lot of y'all thought that he was talking about himself. Nah. Ain't nobody finna talk about themselves like that, even if they need to. Let me run it back. In my second interview, I specifically asked him, I said, do you recall or do you know if OWN requires an in-depth psychological assessment of cast members? And he said, no. He said, no. What he's saying is, if I'm a problem, this is what I believe. Now, he didn't tell me this. This is what I believe. In my belief, what he's saying is, if I'm a problem, so is Ken, so is Latricia. Have you run down a psychological assessment on them? Now, it's easy to make him the target because I don't want to use the wrong words, but I'm gonna say this, Marquez, and I don't mean it in a harmful way. If you put the three y'all together, they may have identified you as the weakest link. Oh, we can bully him. We can do this. We can do that. But what he's saying is, you didn't even do proper research on your cast. You don't even know people's backgrounds. You don't know what Trish is capable of. You don't know what Ken has done. You didn't even run it down on Martell. Martell was about to get 10 years in federal prison. You didn't even run down everything that's going on with your cast members, and you putting people in volatile situations that could harm all parties involved. That's what he was saying. I believe that. I'm just trying to tell y'all that because I asked him, go back and fact check me, if they receive in-depth psychological assessments, and he said no. Now, the other thing is, other networks do, Carlos. Now, you always busy in other networks' business. How come you not copying that blueprint? Then he said the lies, the disrespect, the disregard for me. Now, Marquez, I'm going to put that on you. You signed up for it. You may not have known that's what it was going to be, and you may defend the fact that you came on the show to defend yourself, but after you saw the shit was bad, you didn't have to come back. The lies, the disrespect, the disregard for me, that's fine. But you walked into that. And my children, my family and friends, my legacy is nasty work. I'm going to agree on one part. Against the children, in front of the children is nasty work. But all of you have contributed to that. You, Ken, and Trisha. And then he goes on to say, if you really care about unifying Black families and showcasing Black excellence, maybe you should reconsider how you operate before it becomes your downfall. I'm going to say this. Carlos King is not going to reconsider shit. He didn't say it. He said, it's my show. I do what I want to do. Y'all don't tell me nothing. So he ain't going to pivot. He ain't going to do none of that. So any of you that gets caught up with Carlos King, you bring it on yourself. It is what it is. Now, Marquez, then you say, P.S., call me if you truly care about my mental health. Why? Now that I don't understand. I wouldn't want him to call me. Once you let me get attacked on set and you knew there was a chance that I could be attacked on set, I don't want you calling me. I would want him to call me. The network, I mean, they still They still have the due diligence of reaching out or saying something. But I wouldn't care if they call me or not, if they put me in danger. I will say this. Carlos, you worried about the wrong thing. Because you can block all you want. You can block all you want, but you can't block what God has for me. People that want to sit down with me and sit down with other YouTubers are going to do it. Now, here's the problem. The reason why I say it's me, because these people have interviewed with other people and he don't have a problem with it. Now, the narrative that they're trying to run with is I hate the network. I'm always negative against the network. No, we call your shit out. Do you not call out Bravo? We call your shit out. So all of a sudden, you this big chump in YouTube where nobody can say anything against you. Nobody can tell you or give you feedback about what we don't like. And if so, you're going to attack us behind the scenes because that's what he's doing. Now, all of a sudden, anybody that says anything about Carlos King is being pegged for negative against the network. Child, please. Just like you talk, I'm going to continue to give my feedback. I'm going to continue to critique you. And if you don't like it, then do better. Do better, because that's what it is here on YouTube. Now, I do it in a way that I try to be decent, but you're not going to stop us from giving reviews, critiquing you, and you're not going to bully me into silence. Baby, it don't matter to me. If I interview none of your cast, it don't matter. But if they come knocking on my door and if I feel like there's something there, you're not going to stop it, period, point blank. And I said what I said. Do better. That's crazy. And that's what I mean by gatekeeping, the audacity. The audacity. Now, let me get into these super chats. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me get into these super chats. And there's more to come because we're not going to leave y'all hanging. There's more to come. Trust and believe, where we get into more detail. But I don't want to give too much, and I done gave a lot today. Content creators, go eat. Go make your money. Period.
Money, 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 money comes to me, flowing effortlessly. Money, 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 money comes to me, comes to me. Money, 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 money comes to me, flowing effortlessly. Money, 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 money comes to me. Money, 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 money.
We appreciate you, Queen, pulling up with a 20 piece. Thank you so much. And then she came back and spun the block with a 1-piece super sticker. Thank you. This old lady talk. Fit Diva 1979 coming through, y'all, hard and heavy with a 10-piece and a pepper. She says, thank you for bringing Black excellence via way of great commentary. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, Pamela Thomas. All right, we see you. Happy 1-month anniversary to you. This old lady speak came back, y'all, with a 1-piece super sticker. We appreciate you, Queen, showing up in the palace. Dragonfly Alchemist. Listen, if you just received a notification that you were awarded a membership, thank Dragonfly. She just purchased a membership on your behalf. Square Biz 72 coming through with a 5-piece and a pepper says all the questions you asked Marquez related to the last season. So no information. Thank you. So no new information was revealed. That was for next season. CK is full of it. Girl, he act like we was able to discover this man had a whole different family, that he lived somewhere in Greece and he was child by. No caller ID coming through with a 10-piece super sticker. We appreciate you. Thank you for pulling up, Queen. Empress Nick coming through with a 10-piece says, preach, Queen Shiva. Demons are afraid of your light. Keep shining, love. Carlos, you'll never be an Andy C. Listen, too busy watching what everybody else got going on. Child. Oh, okay. Leo Queen Tony, remember for 2 months, says he makes you feel special just so he can rip you apart and it leaves you worse than you started off. He couldn't stomach Marquez. If you go back and look at his interview with Dr. Heavenly, he talked to him crazy because he's like, that's the only reason why. So you say you didn't have a voice because typically I don't even bring people in your position on my show. Okay. At that point, baby, I would have clicked so fucking fast off that live. You got to have your own self-esteem sometimes. All right, Elaine. Let's see. Elaine Stevens coming through with a 5-piece. We appreciate you, Queen. Leo Queen came back with a 10-piece and a pepper. Says your gifts will always make room for you. Continue to create a safe and educational space here on YouTube. I try to stay in my own lane, mind my own damn business. Mick Living coming through with a 2-piece super sticker. Thank you, Queen. Let me say this. Content creators, get at me. Book a one-on-one session for an hour. It's worth it. Let me show you how to protect yourself the right way. Let me show you how to protect yourself the right way so that you locked and loaded when it's time. That's all I'm going to say. You ain't got to like me. You ain't got to agree with me, but you need to know how to protect yourself before you risk it all. Because some people will come after you if they think that you're not ready. And I can show you how to stay ready. Valerie R., thank you for the 10-piece and a pepper, says CK doesn't have a creative bone in his body. Melody and other women bring him ideas and he takes them and runs with them and changes the narrative. He ain't a boss, but he recognizes them. And let me see a therapist let me see a psychotherapist segment next season. At least give me my credit, my creative inspiration, if you choose to go that route. Now, Healed 75 coming through with a 10-piece and a pepper, says keep extending grace. Listen, thank you. Thank you for the reminder. I Am Unique coming through with a 5-piece, says he runs the same bull crap for every show. Nothing new. He doesn't know how to pivot. Hence the reason he finds stellar women to use copy and paste and then get mad at people that actually have support. Why are you mad at people that have support? Thank you, Just Fine. 38, 5-piece and a pepper, says, dang, Queen got him and did. Leave me alone. Latoya Wash, member for 4 months, says, thank you, Queen and the Palace, for the community. It's our pleasure. Betty coming through with a 10-piece says, good morning, Queen Sheba. You know you cooking this morning. Love all of your commentary. Love you. And got receipts, but I don't like doing that to people. I don't like to do that to people. Don't come over here in the palace with no mess. Because you don't know who I know. Receipt upon receipt upon receipt upon receipt. I don't even get down like that, but I will if I have to. Because what you won't do is come over here and I got receipts that ain't even got nothing to do with me. And I'd be like, wow, okay, well, let me put it here just in case they ever need my assistance. You get what I'm saying? But I listen, y'all, some of y'all need to stand down. Carlos King, starting with you. That's all I'm going to say. T-Talk with your girl coming through with a 20-piece and a pepper, says, thanks for sharing your gift and the commentary. Absolutely. And thank you for pulling up and showing your support. Nicole B coming through with a 5-piece. Is Ken on probation? I don't know. I try not to ask. See, that's another thing too. Now, Carlos, where you can take notes. I'm going to leave that there. I ain't going to say nothing else. Nicole B, I don't know. I didn't dig that deep regarding Ken because I didn't want it to go down a rabbit hole. I try to keep the main thing. Angelique Antonio coming through with a 2-piece. Thank you. She says, everyone has to take accountability for this crazy, but that's not what we do, right? I agree with you. That sounds too much like right, Angelique. That's too much like right. We need a scapegoat. I told y'all, I said I told Marquez. I told somebody. They need a scapegoat. Melody's gone. They need a target. They need somebody to bully. That's all I'm going to say. Traveling Gmail coming through with a 5-piece and a pepper, says, I think Trish should have put Ken out after he pulled a gun on her husband, allegedly. He's volatile and then attacked him allegedly. Trish likes drama. He told y'all Trish has been fighting ever since she was young. He told y'all in my interview, you don't want those kind of problems with Trisha. Trisha is just as aggressive as the men. Trish enjoys fighting. He told y'all. So I don't think you have to see a problem with the level of violence to be able to address it. If it's in your blood, if it's where you came from, if that's how your family gets down and that's all you know, you probably will not do anything about it because that is normal. You get what I'm saying? You got to see a problem with it in order to want to fix it. Vashti coming through with a 10-piece and a pepper, says, what a great message, Queen. Thank you. I appreciate you pulling up. HB5 coming through with a 5-piece, says, Queen, you should produce a documentary about Carlos King. I'm not interested. From roots to monster of chaos. I'll leave that to somebody that have had extensive experience with. I'm not. It's not even something I would consider. And I understand what you mean, just from a creative standpoint. Maybe somebody else that has had more extensive experience with him. Michelle Lane coming through with a 20-piece and a pepper, says, Queen, remember right after your interview, he made the cast stop talking to bloggers, then came Melody's live podcast, which was a setup allegedly, in my opinion, child. The innocent instigator coming through with a 5-piece, says, Carlos King thinks he's the Suge Knight of reality television. Carlos, nobody is scared of you. Your time is coming. Look, they like, listen, he ain't gonna bully me. You can do that to Marquez and anybody else that you deem unworthy, but I like myself. So you don't ever think I'm going to let somebody come at me and I don't get my lick back. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow, but I'm coming. Oh, I'm coming. Yeah, I told y'all I fights back. I do. I fights back. This old lady, thank you again. She gifted one Queen Sheba Darling membership to one lucky person out there. Listen, So Crafty Lion gifted 5 Queen Sheba Darling memberships. Thank you. But you know what, y'all, hold off on the gifting of the memberships because I want to make sure we get the right people behind the wall because lately, everything's so messed up in YouTube right now. I don't want no drama behind my wall. I appreciate y'all, but hold it for now. Moving forward on the next few lives because I want to make sure we safe in the palace. Okay, we want people back there that want to be back there. I appreciate y'all's generosity. It just struck my mind. It just struck my mind. So Crafty Line. So I'm gonna say that. Thank you, but I appreciate y'all wanting to bless other people around us. But that just struck my mind. It's so much going on YouTube. We just don't want. We want to make sure we keep the right energy flowing over here, and that we continue to build out loud. With that being said, should I open up the line? Yes or no? Yes. Here for Hati said, I get my lick back. Listen, God is working on me with that. That's why I shut my mouth. Because I be wanting to do that. And sometimes God be like, okay, be a fool if you won't. Then sometimes I'll let it go. But it just depends, man. But I'm learning how to do it differently. Because people are human now. Ain't nobody just gonna let you handle them any kind of way because your mouth is bigger. I always say the loudest one in the room is the weakest one. Okay, 41 Fits say bring them up only if the white man is on deck. Here's the problem. I'm with you too. Y'all cannot be going down a rabbit hole if I open up the lines. You got to get it quick, straight to the point. We got to stay on topic. Y'all saying yes briefly. They're saying briefly. Okay, let me see. All right. Listen, I'm sorry. We got to keep it brief. Even if you cooking and I feel like you're going too long, I'm going to just put the white man on. Listen, like this. It ain't... If you can take that and be a good sport and you don't feel slighted, and if I just pull out the white man because you're going too long, and if you have a good attitude and you feeling like being in a playful mood today, come on up. If not, and if you know you're sensitive and you're going to feel some kind of way, don't come up. I want y'all to have a good time, but I also want y'all to understand if you go too long, we're going to pull that white man out. We got 30 seconds. Janice Jacobs said, I want to hear more of you. Listen, you're going to get more. I just don't want to flow over into what's coming. I want to save some, but content creators, go cook after this. I done gave you enough to eat today and tomorrow. Okay, let's do priority first. Priority members. If you don't know what that is, that ain't you. Don't click the link. If you are a priority member, you know what that is. That's the higher level membership. If you are a priority member, click the link. I want to take 5 priority members. Do not click the link if you are not priority because I'm going to drop you down. They scared of that white man, baby. They're not going to come up here today. You know what? Protect your mental health. I don't blame you. I said only if you can take it. Cam I Am says we need a buzzer. Girl, the white man is the buzzer. The white man is the buzzer. Shout out to Toot Latrice and Linda Gamble, my moderators. Daryl Long, my moderators that are in the chat, working hard for the palace today. We appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all show them some love. Here for High Tea, so funny. I said, if you don't know what it is, then that ain't you. It is true. I'm so direct. I don't mean to come across like that. Nah, 2 minutes is too long, Simone. Let me tell you why. If you got 5 people and they get to speak 2 minutes, that's 10 minutes. 10 minutes. You have to be a priority member. If you pay priority membership, text it in the back chat. I'm going to pull it up because I have a list. Text it in the back chat or I can't pull you up. So if you're waiting, go ahead, text in the back chat. I am a priority member. And then I'll pull you up. Give me 1 second. I'm finna do something. Give me 1 second, y'all. Pull up my priority. Okay, hold on. Give me one. Yep, it's a wonderful Friday. Listen, Queen Inez Martin says, Queen, you cooking and made a feast for everyone. I don't mind sharing. Okay. All right. Welcome, Queen Liz. You have the floor, priority member.
I just wanted to say it's surprising that Carlos doesn't have, I guess, his legal team together or whatever. Because we're sitting back like, no, you wouldn't ambush someone. You wouldn't step around the side of legalities of stuff. But he does. And we see Andy do it. If you got to go your 1,000 yards and get in your little trailer and then they bring the other one in. So it was baffling to me. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
You're welcome. And thank you for coming up, Queen Liz. We appreciate you. We appreciate you, Queen. Regina B says, I think I am. You would know. It's a higher level membership. Regina. Let's see. Y'all put me on the spot. Overton says Carlos King needs to be sued because he has created a volatile and dangerous work environment. Y'all remember the incident on Jenny Jones? Oh, yeah. Creole Fontenot says Shiba prepared a table for all content creators. Listen, I don't mind. I don't get caught up in my feelings like that. Because hell, you might put something out that I need. I'd be like, oh, that's good. I could spin it. There we go. Dr. Sarah Williams. Y'all make sure y'all show Dr. Sarah some love in the chat, honey. She's here. Dr. Sarah, thank you for doing that good work. We thank you for getting in the trenches with us here in the palace and doing that good work. We appreciate you. And look, fire it up in the chat if you have any specific questions for Dr. Sarah. I can read them out loud. Happy Friday. Welcome, priority member, Fruit Gummy.
Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday, Queen. I just wanted to come up and say you were spot on. And I wanted to call out 2 points. It's a double level of toxic that Marquez was dealing with that he didn't realize. You had at the top messy Carlos King, but you also got his second in command who is equally as messy and toxic. That is that Marcus, the showrunner. And I also want to bring attention to the Fox Soul interview you showed not too long ago.
Yep.
Carlos King said in that interview, outside of calling them country bumpkins, he says, when I'm dealing as a producer, I want to suck the life. I try to get the last bit out of a person's life. So somebody that has that kind of sentiment and that's how they operate, you're not going to get anything more than toxic from. And that's all I wanted to say.
That's an excellent reminder. Listen, thank you to my people that work in the background. I'm gonna call y'all my little team, okay? That have been helping me and making sure I have my ducks lined up in a row. You know who you are. I've called y'all out before. Thank you for helping me to do my proper research. With that being said, thank you, Fruit Gummy, for the reminder. I showed y'all a video, y'all, that's deep in the archives where Carlos King says, as a producer, he tries to suck everything out of them. And not only did he call them country bumpkins, he said they don't do nothing but sit around and have sex all day. He said, because my New York girls, meaning the other girls, would never. So y'all are something to use in these small towns, in these southern hemispheres, atmospheres. He said it. I can run the play again. But am I lying, Fruit Gummy?
You show not, Queen. He absolutely said that. And you made the synopsis that you feel that he believes that the Southern folks are easier to control. That's what you stated in your synopsis of that video.
And he said, all y'all do is, I guess they just sit around and have sex. That's all they got to do there. That's with my words, it was his. You can go back and replay it. Welcome to Estet Noir. Hey, girl.
Hey, friend. Hi, everyone. Hey, Dr. Sarah. I just want to say this. David only needed a slingshot and 5 smooth stones. He only needed to use 1. Carlos, jump if you think you can, because it only takes 1 shot to take you down. And all I can say is be careful where you fall. And I said what I said.
She said what she said. Period. Period. I love it. And that was a metal pipe that we just dropped. I told y'all we fight. Well, I fight back. Let me speak for myself. I fights back. Don't think you finna, baby. I ain't like him. You're not gonna bully me. And I mean that as a grown woman. I tell the women over here, don't let somebody bully you. And will. Think you always be cute. She says, run it. Yeah. Listen, you're not gonna bully me. Mm-mm. You can keep that somewhere else. Keep that with your cast members. Keep that to production. But this one over here, she fights back. I'm not on your show. I don't. I'm not perfect. Listen. I'm the wrong one, baby. Listen, hold on. I feel like I was supposed to be doing something, y'all. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Dr. Sarah regarding the interview? Anybody have any questions for Dr. Sarah? I feel like she did a great job. Listen, we tag team that thing. I needed her. I needed my friend. I needed my sister. And she came and she showed the hell up. She showed up. And that's what Black excellence is. That's what sisterhood is about. Being consistent, being openly supportive, and showing up for each other if and when I need you, period. It ain't perfect. It's about, I got you, what you need. And when I made that call, she came. Angelique Antonio, welcome.
Hey, Queen. Hey, Palace, and everybody. Like I said yesterday, you were doing the Lord's work. I think that is so important. What you did, it actually, to me, was historical. And it also shows the humility that you have to say, as a professional, as an individual, as a human being, like, yo, I cannot minister to this man right now. Let me get someone who is trained to do so. So I give you that shout out. My fervent hope for him is that he will continue to work with the good doctor so that he can get whole. My fervent hope is that he sends a cease and desist to the show, that they cannot use his likeness, his image, his name, because then you niggas will have to work for a storyline. My fervent hope is that he sends to court that his children cannot be on that show because his children are being hurt the most. And all of them are accountable for this craziness. How, if somebody would have been fatally wounded in that fight, that would have been a problem. And this shit just needs to stop. And that's all I have to say. Y'all have a great Friday.
Thank you, Angelique, for pulling up and just sharing your sentiments regarding everything. You jogged my memory about something, and I want to be clear. Y'all, the reason why I broke it down from that level to show you nobody's innocent, including some of the producers and some of the underhanded stuff that they've done. And they do. This isn't so when they, oh, she's negative. What you want me to say? Oh, you're doing such a great job when you're not. No, nope. Or do you like the fact that maybe you're upset about the fact that I'm giving y'all the same energy that y'all give us when it comes to putting crap in front of our faces? You don't like it, right? Neither do we. So we can speak on it. And the reason why, if it feels like, oh, well, why did you give it from that angle today? Because I'm going to give it to you from every angle. I want to show you how involved, how the producers pulled the strings from behind the scenes. And the reason why I say that, because maybe you'll go on a reality show someday, or your friend, or whoever. It is what it is. It's not right. It's happening. And I think at some point, boundaries should be set in place, that enough becomes enough. Is Marquez innocent? Nope. Is Carlos innocent? Nope. Is Trish? Nope. Is Ken? Nope. You've seen the shit show. It keeps getting worse and worse and worse. On Carlos, it seems like with your production. And I'm calling it out. Period. Ladies, feel free to jump in.
I agree with you, Queen. And I feel like at this point, he's potentially hiding around like, oh, there's commentary about all shows. But your production and the shows you have now have a particular narrative of being messy and being toxic, not only on the show, but behind the scenes. And that's where it gets extremely concerning because you orchestrate that environment. I mean, the fact that he sits and reviews his own show that you've edited and doctored to be a certain way, how does that not create a level of toxicity and hostility? So it's just he is not running a good production in my opinion.
I agree as well. I feel like what he's doing is really a distraction for what is going on under the cover and behind the scenes that we don't see and we're not privy to. So if you create enough chaos on the front end, you're distracted from what's really in the thick of it on the back end. That probably will just embarrass him beyond belief.
Oh, y'all are on it. They want me to play. Hold on. Uh, they want me to play Carlos King. I think I got it. Hold on Fox Soul. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, y'all, give me 1 second. I want to read something. Give me 1 second. Simone Wealthy says, "How is Marquez?" I think he's doing okay. I try not to become overly involved after I interview people because I want to make sure that I keep it to what I'm supposed to do as a job here on YouTube. You know what I mean? In the most professional manner. So I try not to become overly involved. Once I do it, I release it, I let it go, to be honest with you. But I hope he's doing well. He seems to be doing well. Like I follow on social media like everybody else does. So, but I try not to get, I like my peace, honey. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody calling me for no favors because I like running my shit the way I run it, you know, and I feel like this is just my personal. You get too overly involved, now you really can't. This is just my personal belief. I feel like if I become too personally involved, I can't say what I really want to say. And I don't want to stifle my talent like that. Okay, the real Empress coming through with a 5-piece and a pepper says, "Queen, your intellect and communication skills are the lick back." You know what? Thank you. Thank you for that excellent reminder. I received that. Let me find the clip real quick. If y'all can find it before me, let me know. Damn, it was his first interview with them. Let me see if I can find it. If not, we'll just have to end the live. Is it called Foxo or TGIF?
Yes, it was on Fox Soul TGI.
Okay, let me see if I can find it real quick. It is down deep in the archives because it was a while back. Okay, I got it. I found it. Look at the Lord. Look at the Lord. Give me 1 second. And then we're going to go after this. And ladies, you can give me I found it, y'all. Okay, gotcha. I see you, the step. All right, give me 1 second. And let's be clear, we are using this clip, which we've located on Google for teaching, research, and criticism purposes. We're using this clip to highlight deficits in reality television and also to hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. So it's a fair use copyright illustration, and I wanted to make that known. And we are utilizing Google as the source. Give me 1 second. Just for a timeline, this video was done over 4 years ago. Let me know when you can see my screen and I will start play. Fruit Gummy, let me know when you can see it, okay?
Will do.
Okay, here we go. Let's make sure we clear it. Everybody want to see it. I can't believe they're not aware of it.
We can't see it yet, Queen.
Present. Share screen. The viewers have asked us to run it back, and we are going to run it back in 5, 4, 3, 2, hold on, and 1. You can see it, everybody. Here we go.
I see it.
All right.
Hey guys, it's your girl Claudia Jordan. We are so excited to.
You got to pay to use the bathroom. Why do I got to pay you to give me toilet paper and paper towels that was available for free at 5 o'clock? But now that it's 11, I got to pay you. It's just too much. And only young people have the courage and the patience.
All right, we're gonna jump. We're jumping to the part where Carlos is being featured because we don't need the rest for teaching purposes. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down?
Y'all met before?
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. I had to.
Here we go. We're gonna go straight to Carlos.
What's going on?
Bell. Welcome back to TGIF. I'm here with my guys, Al Reynolds and Funky Dineva, having a fun time as always. I cannot wait to see what the vlog is going to be talking about tomorrow. I'd like to take this time to introduce a really special friend. I want to welcome my friend and reality TV executive producer who is killing the game, Carlos King, who's produced shows like The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Love and Marriage Huntsville, The Bell Collective, and so much more. Please welcome the CEO of Kingdom Reign Entertainment, Mr. Carlos King. Welcome, Carlos.
Hi, Claudia. Hi, boys.
What's going on, Carlos?
I'm good. How's it going?
It's going.
Carlos.
When I say to you guys, I'm like, this is like more nervousness than being on The View. I'll say that.
Well, we should be nervous because you are popping our cherries because you're our first guest, actually. You're our
yeah!
And I was telling them offline, what better inaugural guest than the Queen Mother Messy Sissy himself, Miss Carlos King, honey. The Queen of Mess.
Take it, baby. I'll take it all.
So many people's life and personalities and sayings, and like you've inspired a generation, Carlos King. You really have.
And created some positive.
Well, you know. You know, Liz, a little bit of everything. It's funny because I remember the gay community a few years ago. Q, you remember this? They were so mad at me because
Oh my God, I was on mute. What I was stopping it to say is that earlier when we started this segment, I pointed out that I've noticed a trend with Carlos. He's not going to sit in anybody that's going to say anything outside of compliments. He's not open to constructive criticism. This interview is a prime example.
I gave the girls all the gay sayings and taglines, and they were like, bitch, that's secret code for us to read the girls, and you're giving these girls our code? And they all went and ran with it. So I apologize to the gays.
So he also used this segment to apologize to the gay community for befriending Black women and giving them some of the codes that gays use. Why would you have to publicly go apologize to the Black gay community for being an ally to Black women? Fruit Gummy, is that interesting?
I find it very interesting. To me, it's telling his true subconscious thoughts.
Okay. I just wanted to call that out and highlight. Now let's get into the thick of it.
I'm sorry.
There you have it.
So you're apologizing to the gays. Oh, okay. All right. I'm here for that.
And that look is and is. So listen. All right. I've been trying to tell y'all, but go ahead.
Al and Carlos, have y'all met before?
Absolutely. I had the pleasure of actually working with Carlos on The Next 15. Remember, Claudia, you were on that show.
Oh, so, yeah. I that scene the other day when your friend was being...
So in that moment, I think, what's her name? Claudia's being messy. Because if you produce The Next 15, why would you ask Al? I just caught this. Why would you ask Al if he's met Carlos before? What's up between Al and Carlos? That was I caught that. I don't know the history, but Claudia tried to get one in.
I was being shady towards me.
Yeah.
Anyway, we also met with, because I'm not doing that. We also met, Al Reynolds was a part of Greg Leak's
the spinoff. That's right. That's when I first met him.
Wedding special. And Al,
brilliant.
You wasn't a bridemaid?
Oh.
One of her bridemaids?
Okay.
The S is not silent. There's an S in there somewhere now.
All right, they're making fun of Nene now.
Wasn't one of her bridesmaids.
Al was a groomsman.
So it's good to have you here. And Carlos, you've done so many shows. I mean, how many shows have you done?
I mean, it's funny. I don't count them, so I think that's just weird and jinxy, whatever. But listen, I've been very blessed and fortunate, and my success has a lot to do with the fact that my audience follows me wherever I go. And I'm not just saying this because I'm on the show. If Funky Dineva reviews my shows, that to me means more to me than a Nielsen rating, because my shows are meant for the people. And
my shows are meant for the people. And if they review my show, if Funky Dineva reviews my show, that means the world to me. If your shows are for the people, why are you trying to block me and other YouTubers?
Clock it.
Clock, right? Let's get into it.
And if the people are into it and Black Twitter likes it, then that's success to me. So, I really want to be able to continue.
That's success for you, but you're going to block anybody else's success.
That path. But, I got 3 shows on the Oprah Winfrey Network. Love and Marriage Huntsville, Bell Collective, which comes on tonight at 10 o'clock 9 Central, and Behind Every Man, which is hosted by Melody Holt.
Did y'all clock that T?
That look.
Did you clock the T that him and Funky Dineva did when it came to Melody Cherie?
Body language can't lie. Body language don't lie.
Okay, watch this. Let me run it back. When he say Melody Cherie, watch him and Funky Dineva in sync. Look down like, child, okay. Child, you fucking, you, here you go with that fish. Y'all, that's inside shade. Watch this. Here we go. Watch them both in sync. Let me slow it down for y'all. I'm going to slow it all the way down. Here we go. I hope I ain't go too far back.
Oprah Winfrey Network. Love and Marriage Huntsville, Bell Collective, which comes on tonight at 10 o'clock 9 Central, and Behind Every Man, which is hosted by Melody Holt.
Look, the shade. Fruit Gummy, I'm gonna let you cover that. Go ahead, the shade. That was over 4 years ago.
Look, first of all, the first thing I noticed, Carlos's voice even dropped. He started off real excited, but when it got to it, did y'all hear that slight change in his voice? And then look at Funky Dineva's face. Be real. We've all made that face before when it's someone we didn't like, and you ask them who gonna be over there, and they say that name you don't like, and you look under-eyed like, that's the look Funky is giving. So, yeah.
Okay, now I'm gonna listen. I've been holding back. Listen, y'all. Carlos, Funky, and Heavenly are real good friends. So much so that Funky don't feel comfortable holding Heavenly accountable about her remarks regarding the gay community. Peep game. I'm gonna take you somewhere. Okay, Queen Sheba. If y'all don't remember 4 years ago when Funky came out reading Melody for filth, dragging her through all of these YouTube streets, they are all good friends.
It was out of nowhere.
It was actually you. Listen, and then Heavenly comes and drags her for filth on Messy Mondays. Who sent you? I told y'all an emerging theme of gatekeepers. Who sent you? Tearing down other Black women because you ain't coming after the boys. Let's continue.
Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I got a couple of other stuff that's coming out. You know how this works. I can announce it, but very blessed and fortunate, to say the least.
And the girls have been trying to get me on Bell Collective for the longest. And my biggest fear is that I'm going to like it. And now I'm addicted to another piece of reality TV. But speaking of reality TV, The Real Housewives of Atlanta was not the first of its franchise, but having a majority Black cast set it apart from the rest. Did you realize that this show will become so powerful?
The Atlanta Housewives show? Yep. Oh, listen, my first foray into reality.
First of all, let's remember he got his big break when Candy fought for him to have a promotional seat at the table. He was an assistant production, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Carlos, since you coming after me, let's be honest. Because if it was white folks, we would say it. You really didn't work your way up. You didn't earn it. Somebody asked for a favor on your behalf. Clock that T. somebody asked for, a Black woman asked for a favor on your behalf based on an opportunity that she had received. To Bravo, you were just an assistant.
And I think it shows in the way he's producing his shows in terms of lack of experience as well as ego. I think if he was to have put a little bit more grit into it, maybe he might not be the way he is. Now, that's just my thoughts, but it definitely shows.
Clock this T. That's why you got to be careful. Candy put her neck out on the line for you. You really weren't qualified. And I understand the fact. Let's talk about it, y'all. He really wasn't qualified. And I'm not trying to shit on him. When you think about production, he was an assistant, but he wasn't qualified to lead his own show as a lead producer. Candy fought for him. Black people wanting to pull other Black people up, even though he wasn't qualified. And after he started to smell himself from having a few seats at the table, he turned on her. Sounds familiar? He turned on her. Nothing new. You weren't qualified. She saw something in you, wanted to pull you up, wanted you to have a seat at the table. And the first thing you did when you could is you fucking took a shot. I told you, you took a shot. Let's continue.
Was the Atlanta Housewives. That first week of filming is when Nene Leakes was unable to get into Sheree's house. And here I am in 2008, a little gay boy from New York that was like, I'm just trying to figure out if this is what I want to do with my life. When Nene Leakes' name was not on the list and she read Sheree's gates, talk about her gates don't even work, and Sheree is in the basement partying like she didn't know Nene's name wasn't on the list. I knew, I promise you, I said to my girl, like, this show is going to be huge. I knew in that moment, because I have never in my adult life seen a grown-ass woman blocked by security for getting into her friend's house.
And I think that's when he developed a taste or an appetite for dysfunction.
I agree, Queen.
Go ahead, Fruit Gummy.
I was just going to say I agree, because the moment he's talking about, at the time it was good reality TV, but just think about when you break it down, a Black woman being held up by security, trying to get into her friend's quote unquote friend's party, who's paying her no mind, that we know at the time set her up. That level of toxicity has been an ongoing theme through all of his shows.
So, Carlos, that's interesting that you shared that particular story, because I wanted to ask you, what do you say to critics who may think reality TV exploits bad behavior or places people of color not in the best light? What are your thoughts around that? Because it seems like, that is something that occurs a lot on reality TV, and especially in the Real Housewives franchise.
Yeah, well, that's a good question. It occurs a lot in the reality TV genre. There's not Black women. Teresa Giudice flipped the table, chased a chick down to the country club.
As a reminder, Creole, when you said boom, tell me, elaborate, Creole, real quick before we move on. I elaborate. Listen, let me refresh your memories. Carlos King single-handedly tore up Teresa Giudice's family. Carlos King single-handedly tore up that family. He snuck Melissa. Is her name Melissa?
Yep.
Bravo did not want to cast her. Carlos went behind their backs and tore up their family. And let me tell you how sneaky and conniving you are, Carlos. You do tear up families. You just stop tearing up the white ones because they went so deep into it. People passed away. The dad, the mom passed away. That brother and sister are the only two siblings, and they have vowed to never speak to each other again. That's how much nasty work Carlos King been doing for a long time. He brought Melissa on that show. He tore that family apart. It was so devastating. I guess he ran over here and said, well, shit, let me focus on the Black folks. He tore that family apart. Go ahead, Fruit Gummy.
I was going to say, you're absolutely right. Remember on that, we also captured Teresa's husband calling her the C word and how shocked we were to see that. And also, a lot of people forget his dealings with Hollywood divas and R&B divas and how toxic that went as well. So he has a pattern.
Pow introduced on that show too?
It was. And it was another case of two shows that was very popular. And you see how things just go and fade away. That's because that ended in a lawsuit as well.
Now, Carlos, since you focus on me, I'm gonna focus on you. It seems like everywhere you go, there's a level of violence. Because on Teresa flipped the table. Teresa and her sister-in-law, the husbands had a physical fight. Y'all don't remember? Joe Giudice and Joe Gorga had a physical fight in one of the scenes. They fought that. Thank you. Always be cute. They fought that evening at the baby's christening. You did that to that family. You destroyed that family. And then let me tell you how diabolical you are. And I'm going to say what the hell I want to say. You went back and you kissed Teresa's ass as if you saved the day many years later. You did it. And then you showed up as a superhero. See, Teresa's not as sharp and savvy as a Black woman is, and you did the same to Candy. You did the same to Melody. You did the same to this family. Now, that family, listen, was already on hanging by a thread. You know, Ken and all of them. That I told y'all they was toxic before they came. You attempted to do the same with Marceau and Letitia. Not to say they didn't have problems, but Marceau was savvy enough to say, I need to make a deal with you. My family's off limits.
I worked on those shows too, honey. So it's not just a Black thing. It's all about this. At the end of the day, it's casting. If you are a great producer, you cast people who are the most entertaining to watch, okay? The shows that people love to watch is because they have entertaining people. When I was working on Housewives of
Entertainment is code for drama. Who has the most salacious story? Who can we make a fool out of? Child.
Atlanta, and I met Claudia Jordan at the Abbey, I was entertained in the midst of the chaos that was surrounding us at this gay bar.
Carlos lying. He wasn't entertained by Claudia. He just saying that bullshit because she's sitting right there. But okay.
And then also,
and I knew.
Go ahead, Fruit Gummy.
I was gonna say what also wasn't shown. Claudia has told her story. She was going through a lot financially during that time and losing her job. She was going through a bankruptcy. So her life, when he goes back to entertaining, was, for lack of better words, in shambles during that time. I just think he didn't get to exploit it how he wanted to.
And they take the people that are in the worst positions. To be honest with you, Mel was in a dire position when she went on that show. When Melody started loving Marriage Huntsville at whatever, she went to him. And by the time the network decided to roll it out, Melody was in a dire position in her life because she found out her husband was cheating. She found out not only was he cheating, he continued to cheat after he told her he would. That's a dire position emotionally. And she went to Carlos King and said, I can't do it. I have to focus on my family. And what did he take her by her? That snake took her by her hand and he hissed, I'll take care of you. And he sure did, in every which way. Turned her every which way but loose. But let's continue.
Based on her personality, she could hang tough with these girls. It's all about the casting. And once you get a sense of someone's behavior, that's all on them. Ask Claudia, who worked with me. No one whispers like, girl, you want to snatch her weave off, sis? Like, you know, that doesn't happen.
That's a lie. You told us you did that with Peter. You purposely told Peter, what's his name? Peter Thomas, to go after Nene. That's why Bravo got rid of him. Y'all think it's also about Candy. That was, what do y'all call it? The cherry on top. You were purposely sabotaging their production efforts by doing shit in the background. Bravo never intended for the men to outshine the women, but you said you thought the men deserved to have just as much of a voice. And you said it in your own words on your interview with Peter that you coached him to go for Nene. If you take Nene down, you'll become a star.
You sure right, Queen. You absolutely right. And you could actually see when it changed. I don't know the season number, but it's when Nene called him, what was that name she gave for Peter? It was like a spit. Patricia, yes. And it's the season when she called him the B word. That's when you started to see the true change in Peter's behavior.
He just spoke his plan. Yeah, he said that he whispered to Peter He said that. I'm just repeating. I'm just reminding y'all. Got a memory like an elephant. He said, and guess what? It worked. It worked. And from then, Bravo kind of shifted, and the men had become more of an intricate part of the story. Although Bravo didn't pay them, Carlos King also planted it in the men. The poison. Ooh, now that we talking about it, he planted it in the men's minds. Hey, start asking them women for money.
I remember that, Queen. Remember
Am I
what Matt?
lying?
Just you're not. Matt, that man that used to be with Kenya, it revealed it on that reunion stage. He said, Peter, and Todd, and maybe Apollo. I don't know. I don't think Apollo was there at the time, but I know for a fact he said that Peter and Todd called him and told him about the play, about how the men maneuver and move, and how it was a money grab for them. I
And
absolutely remember that.
it was Carlos. Liz, did you want to get in real quick before I start playing more of the video? I just wanted to remind y'all, but go ahead.
I did. I just wanted to say a couple things because I've been a Bravo fan for a long time, and I did listen to some of Carlos's stuff. But so whatever, somebody knew that Danielle's book had come out. He said he went, bought the book, brought it to that lunch. And that's kind of when Teresa, I guess, was confronted with the whole thing. And so just saying all that to say, he slid it under the table so it could be brought out. He had to crawl. He's bragged about this. Secondly, back to the Nene Sheree thing, because I love Housewives and love Atlanta Housewives, obviously. Nene would have not come to her home for that event. I want to say, was it her clothing line? It was something. Either way, would have not come had she known she was not invited. Now, they had a beef. She wasn't originally invited. Sheree, they talked or something. Sheree wanted her to come. She wanted to come support. So if you look in the episode, she's telling people on production, go let her in. Go tell them it's okay. I thought she was added back. It's a misunderstanding. Nene wasn't going to stand out there for 20 minutes. And I don't know why somebody from production didn't run their little hot butt up there like they did with the book. So he, I believe, had some hand in that as well. But now that we're all going back, but thank you. That's all.
No problem. No problem. Let's continue to flow through, and ladies, jump in as I pause, and feel free to tag along. All right, here we go. But I just I'm giving y'all, here we go.
But there is a responsibility as a producer to make sure, no shade, you cast the right person who is the most entertaining to watch. Because at the end of the day, I ain't trying to get read by Black Twitter on somebody being boring. And when Kenya wasn't on Housewives of Atlanta, they read that season for filth. Because at the end of the day, the girl you hate the most brings the most to the show.
Look at him winking. What are he winking for? But let's continue. Let's continue. Okay.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
I wish you were right.
But the past couple of weeks, I talked to, I interviewed quite a few people from your shows. I talked to some of the stars from the Bell Collective and Love and Marriage Huntsville. So what is it about Southern Black women that makes them so exciting and so interesting to follow? Because it seems like the South is just blowing up when it comes to reality TV. It's all hits.
No, listen, I want my brand to be something that is relatable to my culture. And I don't care if you're a Black woman or a little Black gay boy or a Black straight man. We all have roots in the South.
I call BS, because if that's the case, how come you haven't given Black gay males an opportunity on your platform?
Exactly, Queen.
Funky Dineva called his ass out over that. He said, you ain't never pitched me. And bitch, you didn't even pay me. Y'all don't remember that interview?
Sure, I remember that. I sure do.
When he says the girl you hate the most brings the most to the show, hello, Melody Cherie. Carlos is admitting what we all know.
Yeah. And he built that hate train. Number 2, Funky Dineva also said, at least Mona Scott Young paid me $500. Go back and clock the tea. Go back and watch the interview. If all people matter, like you say, which I call BS, how come you have not given the gay Black men an opportunity for a show?
Our grandmas or our granddaddies, the South is the heart of Black culture. And what I saw growing up in this business was a missed opportunity not tapping into those parts. I've seen Atlanta, I've seen Miami, I've seen New York, I've seen Los Angeles.
No, you've wrecked shit. You've wreaked havoc. And so you probably have gotten run out and have worn out your welcome.
Absolutely.
So you had to go find other people to exploit. That's what I believe.
Still is. You know what I mean? Like, we haven't seen Alabama. We haven't seen Jackson, Mississippi. I want to tap into those different territories because that's where real people live. And the question Al did ask about, you know, when you cast people in reality, those real people in those southern states are the most entertaining to watch. To see what Martell and Melody went through in their marriage is nothing but a bunch of countryness in Alabama. You ain't gonna find.
I told you. There y'all.
Wow.
Pocket.
I told y'all. He called them country. He didn't even care about the marriage. He said a bunch of countryness. Boom. We played it. Y'all want me to keep going?
Let it breathe. Let them really feel it, Queen.
He didn't even say, he said what they were going through in their marriage with nothing but a bunch of countryness. I'm just saying, the Queen, listen, I does my work over here.
Sickening. Sickening.
Sick. Didn't even have any empathy for them people. Never had their, what is it, y'all? Never had their well-being in mind. Never intended on helping Melody. Somebody find me that picture where he held her hand. I'm going to let it play and I'm going to look for that picture. That man saw an opportunity. He deemed them country bumpkins from the day he met them. This is horrible, but here we go.
I'll find out in New York because they have there's other things to do. And one thing my girl told me, she said there ain't nothing to do in the South but have sex. And baby, that's what I noticed. So let me ask.
Okay, I'm done with it. I'm gonna let it go here. He said it ain't nothing for them to do in the South but have sex. And that's what I noticed about these people. He talking to all y'all. He talking to Bell Collective. He talking to all y'all. He exploiting y'all like a mug. He talking to Love and Marriage Huntsville. What other shows we got from the South?
Love and Marriage Huntsville. You have Bell Collective.
The real estate one, Sherelle's, the real estate one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's it. That's all.
Is that why he moved to Atlanta? Because it's popping?
I have no idea, but I just wanted to run it. I wanted to run it. I wanted y'all to hear it. I need y'all to sync it.
And so now that you know his mindset, when you hear about true, like you said, pain and trauma and serious matters being mishandled on these shows, he don't care because he's just deemed it as that's what them country bumpkins gonna do anyway.
He said, that's what I've seen. The countryness of it all. Look at them. He said the countryness of it all. And then be in their face talking about, yes, girl, yes, Kimmy. He see y'all as country bumpkins. And listen, here's the thing. I talk about it every Wednesday on our Wednesday morning corporate segment. If you understand how the game is being played, get in that mofo, play the game and get what you need and get out. That's it. But y'all heard it here on the Palace, how he's always felt about these people. I stopped it here last time. Let me see. I don't know if there's anything else we need. Look at his face, y'all. Look at his face after he said what he had to say.
Like a baby that just took a nice one.
And then look at Claudia.
He's very pleased with himself. He's very, very pleased.
Claudia's just like, I got to stomach this. Sorry.
No, there's a shared agreement. Al is confused because Al is professionally trained and was like, whoa. Claudia, you know what that look is? Child. Look at him. I said what I said. Al is confused as to why would you say that? Funky is ready to continue the dialogue. Let me let it go because I stopped it here the last time. Let me see what they say.
Let me ask you this. We now got Housewives of Atlanta 14 years on the air. We got Basketball Wives. They've been on 8, 9, 10 years. Love and Hip Hop's been on 8, 9, 10 years. And a lot of that stuff has, quite frankly, gotten a little stale. We're starting to begin to see a shift in reality television. So where do you see the future of reality TV going?
I am the future of reality.
Wow, yes, it is.
Oh, y'all heard it. He said he is the future of reality television. I told y'all. I am the future of reality television. The gatekeepers are emerging. They're going to try to squash any and everybody that they deem as competition, even if you don't look at yourself like competition. Listen, what are your thoughts, ladies?
So if you the future of reality TV, why are you over here on YouTube? Why are you over here scrambling and trying to control who can do what with their YouTube channel, huh? Sound like an unstable future to me.
That's funny to me. He might be. I don't know. But I mean, Thank you. Always be cute. She says, this man just spoke his truth. That's true. Why expect anything today for his protection of Black women? I agree. That's why I said anybody that does business with him,
You,
you
at this
already
point,
know what it is.
that part, you already know what it is, because going back to what he told Melody, as well as what Monique said in her interview, he draws the man by saying Black excellence. But when a snake shows you it's a snake, believe it. This is his true sentiment. It was never about Black excellence. It was never about showing Black people in a positive light or showing something positive. This right here, about the entertainment and about sucking it dry, that's what he really believes. That's what he really wants.
Let me see if we can get into that real quick, and then we're out of here. Let me see if that part did I already pass it up?
I think it's coming, Queen.
Okay, here we go.
No, but Q, you are accurate. And the reason why I watched a review you did, and you really did go hard on a few shows that I've worked on before, about there's a staleness to it. No one's life is interesting for 14 years. When I was working on these past shows, I was like, I had to sit up here and drain everything out of this situation, because 9 seasons in, because I left after the 9th season, I was bored. I was like, are we still gonna argue about the same shit? Are you two ladies still beefing? That's what we're doing? Like, I'm bored watching it, and I'm in the midst of it. And I think what the audience wants to see is a freshness.
All right, there you go. He said he's going to drain you out. He's going to get as much as he can get. And when he's done, he's bored. And then he goes looking for something new and fresh to drain again and again. It's a rinse and repeat cycle. Let me see if there's anything here noteworthy.
And y'all won't tune in. So after a while, I do think these shows have been on for like 15, 10 years. There needs to be a reboot in terms of keep the brand name of the show, but baby, I need some new rotation of chicks.
So speaking of new, Carlos, I'm going to go off the script a little bit. I want to ask you what type of shows we can expect in the future that we can see from you. But can I ask why we don't see ensemble of men in reality television? Not just,
Remember, this was over 4 years ago. Let's see what he says.
I see a lot of women ensembles. Why don't we see any men ensembles? And with saying that, can I count on being a cast member of your first ever men ensemble?
Okay, watch this. You see Funky shake his head now? Watch this. Al, the joke is on you, boo-boo. But let's roll it.
A lot of women ensembles. Why don't we see any men ensembles? And with saying that, can I count on being a cast member of your first ever men ensemble?
Let me tell you something, Al. The gag is on you. See, even though you think you're friends, those are the two that talk about you behind your back. That's why he said no. Didn't even realize he probably was doing it.
Al, you're too private, honey. I love you though, but you ain't gonna tell the world your business, child, and I respect that. Okay. No, but that is a really good question.
I don't think he really knows me, does he?
No, I know you.
I don't think you really know me.
But no. Let me ask you this: Will you show everything on camera though?
Oh, absolutely. Why not?
See, now he's challenging Al, but not in a way that y'all think. When he said, "Will you show everything on camera though?" You know what he's talking about. I hope y'all know.
Yep, I sure do.
Okay, what is he talking about?
I would say about his lifestyle, as well as his past with his ex-wife.
Oh, let me exploit you sleeping with a girl. See, y'all got to know how this stuff works. See, we know you gay, child, but child, you're not like one of us, because you have to marry a girl. You have to have a piece of fish to get put on. That's shade. He didn't say it, but he's saying it. Hold on.
I'm walking in my truth at this point in my life.
And Al goes on. Al knows what he's saying, which is why he followed up. I'm walking in my truth now. Now, let me ask the gay boys. Do y'all lose respect for gay men that have been with a woman before and had to, and y'all, is there a hierarchy? Diego, if you hear, come on out the bushes.
I know there's a term called gold star gay, which refers to a man that has never slept with a woman.
Well, let me see what they gonna say, because we don't want them to say we speaking for them. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, no, I got you.
Let me see what they gonna say. Is there a hierarchy? Do gay men look down on the, let me just say, let's just use Al's situation, because it seems like there's an inside joke between Funky and Carlos regarding Al, to which Al had to defend and said, I'm walking in my truth now. Okay, what's a lavender marriage? I've seen that before.
Oh, a lavender marriage is a man who is gay but marries a woman. The woman is typically aware, and it's basically like his beard. So they both understand what's going on, but essentially it's a gay man that marries a woman.
Okay. And my question still stands. Hopefully I'm going to keep rolling the tape, but I noticed the shade between Funky and Carlos regarding Al. You too private for me, child. You can't. And then Al says, no, I'm living in my truth now, and I will talk about it.
And
Because why is that important? The reason why that is important, because that's a primary reason that Fox Soul TGIF fell apart. They said that Al put it in contract. They could not talk about him and Star. Do y'all remember that?
mm-hmm.
Yep.
I sure do. And that Carlos don't want what the person will tell. He wants what you won't tell so that he can exploit it and blow it up.
Okay. So guess what, Al? Funky has been gossiping, I believe, 4 years ago to Carlos about you and what you got on Fox Soul. But Carla, you see how Carlos would bring Dr. Heavenly on his show to talk about Melody and he didn't? In this clip, I believe Carlos is kind of poking Al a little bit about stuff, and he's doing it in a way that Funky and Claudia can't do because that's been a point of contention. Like when they lights, camera, action, we can't talk about you. Your life is off limits. And that's why he said, no, you can't come on my show because, honey, you too private for me.
What I don't get is why, if he'll exploit so many people, like we have to ask ourselves, what's the connection or the, hands in the pockets, if you will, of those he won't exploit?
I think he'll exploit anybody.
Well, he hasn't the Scots yet. They have plenty to exploit.
No, he's exploited them, but Melody and Martell overshadowed that by their story. He tried, yeah. I think he will exploit anybody. I don't think now I'm gonna be fair in that. I think he will exploit anybody. Period.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think he's self-serving. Let me I think Marceau came in like a masculine man and was like, instead of leaving. But hold on, here we go.
All right, then we should talk. No, but to your question, the reason why you haven't seen an ensemble of men, and this is no disrespect because I'm a man at the end of the day, men are boring to watch.
He said y'all boring. He said y'all boring. He don't want all men on the show. He like men to bully women. Let's continue. But he said y'all boring. Just so y'all can know. He said y'all are boring.
Watch. All they do is scratch their balls, watch a little football. Although men, this is it. Men are messy when it comes to people's business and when it comes to women's business.
He like that. He don't like seeing men be men.
Nope.
He don't like seeing men as just a regular man. He wants you to go over there and be messy with the girls. And that's now when y'all say that gives you a little bit of pathology. And ladies, I want you to get in here. Now you know how he recruits his men.
Yep. The men that don't have that boundary of that's a woman, so I'm not even gonna go there with her. I'm not built like that.
There you go. I've just answered, I hope, all of your questions. I hope I've given you enough background to be like, why is this man recruited on the show? You see Ken called y'all bald-headed. Oh, you see Martell has said stuff about the female audience. Maurice has. You see Martin. What's that other one name? Marceau say y'all are deplorable. Lou ain't never said nothing out of line. Courtney ain't never said nothing out of line. Marquez has never said anything out of line. Courtney left. He took his woman in love. Lou took his woman in love. Marquez tried to say and got his ass stomped to the ground. The rest of the men are ready to go after the other women. Now you know how he cast the men. If he cast you and you were not going after women, he'll probably come after your wife like he did with Tiffany. And he put her in a very, very horrible position as a pregnant woman, and then tried to fucking blame that on the millimeters.
Mm-hmm. So we stressed her out, and we came for her.
When Marceau says she needed to be slapped, when you let Marceau and Martell ambush that pregnant woman, okay? When she thought she was going in for a meeting with one, and both of their asses showed up to drag her. Let's continue. Go ahead, Frugummy.
I was just gonna say, and even to that, he cultivated that because remember after her first season, he started coining her as I'm gonna make you my next Kenya. You have the ability to be my next Kenya.
I love how he's like, oh, my next so-and-so. He didn't he was just there for a moment. And it's like, how are you even put that on your resume and you got fired? But yeah, your next talent, who?
All right, here we go. And I think Bravo was actually generous with him because they've never said anything ill about him or towards him.
They don't want to even give him air.
Right.
Straight guys are all up in a woman's business. Peter Thomas will forever be the most iconic male reality star because he represented a lot of straight men we know who are super nosy, they gossip, and he wants to know the tea, right? It doesn't make you gay. But to have 5 Peter Thomases is a little weird. And the reason why you need to incorporate the women in the midst of all of that, right, is because it has to make sense. Because what I would get from the audience is, it's a bunch of bitch ass on this show, and I don't like it. But if the men are reacting to what the women are doing, and it affects the brotherhood, then there's interest in that, which is why.
Woo, he just laid out the play for y'all. I can't make you eat it. I'm putting it in front of you. Martell kept saying, stick to the code, stick to the bro code.
Yep.
Stick to the code. He just said if the women are disrupting the brotherhood, you get to see that play out on television.
And
Stick
that's
to the code.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to run it again.
Right? It doesn't make you gay. But to have 5 Peter Thomases is a little weird. And the reason why you need to incorporate the women in the midst of all of that, right, is because it has to make sense. Because what I would get from the audience is, it's a bunch of bitch ass on this show, and I don't like it. But if the men are reacting to what the women are doing, and it affects the brotherhood, then there's interest in that, which is why
the brotherhood, Ken and Marquez. What the women are doing is disrupting the brotherhood. You and another, I don't give a damn what's going on. That's still another married man's wife. That's why, Trish, I said you are nothing important to this man. Girl, you are a pawn in a bigger game. I can put you in here and get these men to fight because you're disrupting the brotherhood. Now I got 2 men fighting over a woman that's legally married to one, and the other one is trying to stake claim on my show. Ooh, hell yeah, this is very entertaining.
And it also explains why at that gazebo scene, why he cut out Marceau talking allegedly about Martell's sexuality, but he had no problem showing Martell talking to a married woman saying, "I saw you in the back of a car."
Huh?
I was giving another example of how when it comes to about the brotherhood and about men, I was saying that's why he had no problem when they were at that field day scene, Queen, why he cut out what Marceau was saying about Martell and his sexuality, but he had no problem in leaving in when Martell was saying that he saw Tisha having intercourse in the back of a car.
Yeah, because we're going to use Tisha as a catalyst as the fight between Martell and Marceau because she's interrupting the brotherhood. He told y'all, he laid out the play 4 years ago. I just need y'all to pause and take it all in. Y'all, this is all by design, and he doesn't care who catches a stray. I told y'all, he said, this is what makes it interesting. I got to put the women in play where they're disrupting the brotherhood. They're disrupting the brotherhood. Then it becomes interesting. Hold on. Give me one more. Give me one more second. Let's see. That's a good call out, Fruit Gummy.
My shows moving forward, it has to incorporate the husbands, the boys.
So we gotta go ahead.
Would you say that for a cast of men transgender in the LGBTQ community, would you have that same philosophy that they would be boring and that there wouldn't be any interesting content and that type?
Al is whooping his ass, and y'all don't understand what Al is doing. Al is peeping game that Carlos King really isn't an advocate for the gay community, and he's coming through in a very sophisticated and conservative way. And so would you say the same thing for transgenders? Are y'all peeping this? What's going on here?
Because I think he offended Al as well.
Yes.
When he said that.
Yes, this is, okay, let me play it. So watch this.
Type ensemble?
Well, you want to go to break first, Paul? You want to come back to that, or?
About that, we're gonna take a quick break and calls and stick around for some hot topics. So that's what's gonna get.
Now we need a break. Because Al jammed you up. Say that shit about transgenders.
Look at Funky Daniva's face, Queen.
Here we go, journalism degree.
He said, let's go to break. Let's go to break. Al knew exactly what he was doing. He said, let's go to break. And that's all I'm gonna play, y'all. It was good though, but I just wanted y'all to know Carlos King ain't got no respect for none of y'all. That's all I'm saying. But you ain't finna come over here and bother me, sir. But I hope y'all enjoyed it.
Thank you, Queen.
Thank you. Thank you, Fruit Gummy. Thank you, Queen Liz. Thank you to everybody that came up. I just listen, content creators go eat. You ain't got no with me. I don't roll like that. Take what you need. Take what you need. With that being said, y'all, what are your thoughts about today's live? It's a mess. Who Carlos is out here. Listen, Marquez, I wish nothing but the best for you. I think maybe this is probably one of the best things to happen to you. That show, getting removed from that show. Oh, always be cute. Thank you. Thank you for suggesting that I run it back. Yeah, I ran it back. We'll make up nothing. We just showing you what people have said. That's it. That's all. That smile. Oh, Al knew he ate, Yvette. He knew what he was, but see, Al is a great listener. He's a great listener. All right. The Real Empress. Yeah, we got that one. Okay. Let's see who else. Angelique Antonio. Thank you again, Queen. She says, with a 2-piece and a pepper, it is just anti-Black women. It is, that's entertainment to him. I agree with you. Angelique came back with a 2-piece and says, Al is asking the correct questions. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. And that's all we have for today. Y'all have a beautiful weekend. All right.
You all should be ashamed. How can you drink right after a funeral? Like this? Give me another one, then, Brady. Fred Sanford, you just left the house of the Lord, and now I'm in my house. All of y'all ought to be ashamed drinking like a school of fish. My Bible says, be not drunk with wine. What did it say about scotch? Hey, listen. Yes, why'd you go someplace else? Why'd you go ugly up somebody else's house? Who you calling ugly, sucker?